more and more people are becoming aware of the shadow side being exposed. Not only the shadow side being exposed in the world, but the shadow side being exposed within themselves. Their point of reference is starting to shift. They are seeing beyond the veil. Though they may not be aware, they may not be exactly sure, for it is new. It is something that they've never really been allowed to see, or never something that they've permitted themselves to see. So therefore the target to come to some kind of semblance of what was considered peaceful in the past is no longer viable. It is no longer a possibility. That possibility has shifted into much greater possibilities. And though some may call to secede from the rest of the United States, for example, the state of Texas has placed an order to secede, but that is just part of the program, so that all the world will see that there is much unrest in this country that they look to for the example. There are many countries around the world that are also asking to be free of their government, to be free of their military, to be free of being told what to do. And it seems that their voices are being heard far greater now than they ever have been, and if they have not, then they will be. For this is the time. So you must be patient. It is a marathon, not a sprint. It is still going to take time. But you mustn't give up. You mustn't give up hope. You mustn't give up confidence that this is coming about. And you mustn't forget to have time with yourselves, to be quiet, to be with your friends, to be in nature, to go to a restaurant, to listen to music, to relax into your being, to get back into your skin, as it were. For these changing times, they are going to change whether you are trying to control the change. Yes? You cannot control the change. The change is going to happen whether you choose it or not. And there are those who are stepping into a position of being in the forefront, being seen, being the loudest voice in the group, speaking for the group. And there are those who will work in the background, that will be the extras on the set. Yes, they seem to be just extras, but they are such a keen part in being figures, as it were, and symbols to all to look up to, or to look down. For there are those who have chosen to be blamed, to be dishonored for their roles in the choices they have made to play the game. And that game is ending. And those who have chosen to play the game and thinking that they are the winners of their game will discover that they are not. That they unfortunately have chosen to be looked at as the losers. For it is important to know that our choices are just choices, and they played that game for they thought it was their only choice. But it is not your only choice. You do not have to play that game any longer. There are far greater choices being exposed to the world and to all of humanity, and the greatest choice is to be sovereign, to choose to step into that place of sovereignty and to know that you are potent. That together in your community, as you gather with those who are seeking something greater, that these cells, they use the name cells for the terrorists, but if you take that idea of the cell and use it in a way that is in the light, that brings people to coming together in the light and beaming a far greater and exponentialized synergistic light, that these small communities gathering with the all of these communities coming together to be that powerful light, somewhat like it was created for the America when it first began, the United States of America, very similar in that format, but from a completely different level, a higher perspective, a higher dimension of freedom, a higher dimension of sovereignty than has ever been allowed by humanity. That is a beautiful, joyous, powerful expansion of light. And together you will honor your power, because working together is how you will create it. Each individual bringing their uniqueness to a small community, and then all these small communities will come together to represent a large, but it is these small communities that will create this propelling into the next 5D awareness. Yes, yes.